Cafe Mocha. I am sitting here with Jermaine Dupri, 20th anniversary of So Def. And the first thing I want to say is, between you and LaFace, you guys put Atlanta on the map musically. Do you at all feel like you paved the way for like Tyler Perry to come in and like Real Housewives, Atlanta, and to create this mecca that's become, an entertainment mecca in Atlanta?
Of course. I mean, when I first started making music and putting out artists in Atlanta, nobody in these other cities wanted to even hear about. If I said I'm from Atlanta and I went to New York, they was like, Atlanta? What y'all know about hip hop? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was a question that was there. Like, y'all don't know about no hip hop. And then it was like the music industry was kind of here in LA. So it was like when LA and Babyface started first coming to Atlanta, they was bringing engineers and stuff to Atlanta. And I was still using like the guys in Atlanta. And they felt like the guys in Atlanta was country. And they didn't know, or they didn't have the experience of making records the way, LA did. So it was like, my day and time of starting in Atlanta was like struggle after struggle to get people to even want to be a part of the Atlanta scene. So what they doing now, it's much easier to even say that it's love and hip hop in Atlanta happened because of, the things I was doing, the things Dallas was doing, and the stuff that, LA and Babyface eventually started doing.
So, when I heard that the 20th anniversary was happening and you were doing a big concert, I was like, that is going to be hot. First of all, how did you come up with the idea, and how did you convince everybody to get in and do it?
It's funny because that's the funniest question of all. How do I convince everybody to do it? I don't know if I must have died and left for a minute and people heard that So Def had problems with their artists, but I'm not part of that. Whatever people think, like me and my artists are like family. Like we are like more like brothers and sisters that always see each other and have a connection, no matter what happens in each person's life. So, me reaching out to any one of my artists and saying let's do this show is always like, you sure we gonna do it? That's their reaction is, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna really make this happen? So. Getting them in line to do this was nothing. You know what I mean? It was like, let's just make sure it happens. Crisscross probably was like the one that I was most nervous about, and I shouldn't have been, but I was, because Crisscross wasn't on So Def. So I thought that they was gonna say that first of all. Like I thought they was gonna be like, well, we weren't never part of the label. But they was the introduction of what So Def became. So it was very important that they were there, because they actually basically made the world know who I was, which allowed me to have So Def.
But the great thing about So Def and you is that it wasn't just about the hip hop. You were the young hip hop dude, but you had escape. You had the R&B flavor. Is it the same side of the brain? Do you use the same muscle to do the hip hop as the R&B?
Yeah, I know. I know what ingredients. It's like making a cake. You cook?
Yeah.
All right. If you go in the kitchen and you make a cake, you don't use the same ingredients to make a pie.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know the difference between, it's the same chef, but you just make a pie and you make a cake. It's the same thing like that with me. I know what I'm doing in the kitchen.
I heard that. I like that. Okay, so the anniversary concert coming up February 23rd in Atlanta. What has to happen for it to hit New York, LA, maybe Chicago?
I'm not really sure exactly what has to happen. I mean, it has to, this one has to come off a huge success, and it's got to be a success from me, not because of ticket sales and the public. It's got to be a success on the inside. Like, I got to leave the show feeling like this was like one of the most incredible nights I ever had. Because if it feels like it was like too stressful and too much work for me, then I'm going on the road is going to be double whatever that night felt. You know what I'm saying? So if it feels like it was just so smooth and it felt like it was organic and it just happened and everybody's show came off and it's beautiful, then of course you're gonna have some kind of hiccups in the show. It's one show, and we don't get that much rehearsal, and so of course you're gonna have some kind of hiccups. But the way the show's designed, it's not designed to have that many hiccups. So hopefully, if it comes off right and everything works, and the sponsors want to be involved for a whole tour, then it could possibly be a tour. Jagged Edge wants this to be a tour, by the way. They are the ones they got the signs up like tour.
And what about the Brat? Can we expect new music from her?
Yeah, I mean the Brat is definitely working on new music. I just think like every one of these artists, I feel like they needed, and any artist, I feel like every artist that's ever had multiple albums, at some point they need something as a kickstart to give new life into whatever it is they're doing. So I feel like this is a perfect platform for every one of these artists. Like before I even talked about this Crisscross one, they came to me and had a conversation about me helping them get on festivals and shows in Europe and bigger concerts because they heard people was asking for them. So it's like this is by far, like Crisscross right now to do interviews would be, we wouldn't have a day of break if we allowed them to do as many interviews as people want them to do, right? So just knowing that's out there, that's a platform for them to go into that world that they want to do, these festivals and these shows. Of course people want to ask all kind of crazy questions,
right.
But for the most part, that gives them that platform. Brat had to go do her time and go to jail, and this is a brand new platform for her where people probably haven't got a chance to talk to her. They haven't seen her, whatever it is. This is the opportunity for people to, do this. And, even me, I stopped doing press because I feel like a lot of times, it's crazy because like a person like myself, I do so much, but people get immune to me doing so much that they start asking, what else am I doing, in the midst of me telling them that I'm doing 100 things.
Jermaine Dupri, of course.
What else are you working on? Like, so it's like, but I saw this as an opportunity too. I'm opening myself up to do interviews for this show as a platform for all the artists. Jagged Edge definitely will have a new album this year. So we already started working on a record. Basically, when we put out the celebration song, we was in the studio, and that's what made us do that because they was there. So it's a lot of platforms for a lot of people.
Now, speaking of platforms, I know while you were putting this whole thing together, somebody at VH1, somebody at VH1 or BET said, what about the So Def reality house where everybody's in the house, they rebuilding their career, they going on tour? What do you say to that?
That's whack.
So you would never do a reality type thing?
Nah. I mean, like, it's crazy how this world has changed the word reality into fake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought reality was a derivative of real,
mm-hmm.
right? But it's turning out to be fake. Like, all this reality stuff that people are calling reality is not really happening. You know what I'm saying? So if you saw all of us in a house living together, that would be the most fabricated thing that you could ever see in your life. So no way. I mean, if it was to go on tour with us and you see that, that's a reality show,
right?
You know what I mean? But to just makeups, nah.
Okay, I'm gonna do this kind of stream of consciousness thing where I'm just gonna throw out a word, and you tell me your thoughts on it. Okay, The inauguration.
Man, I got a bunch of words. Incredibly huge is like 2 words, and then ultra black, super black holiday. Like it was a double black holiday. There's Martin Luther King and Barack Obama. Like super black day.
The legalization of marijuana.
I don't have no real comment on that. I don't smoke, so I don't know. I don't know what it means to not have it and what it means to have it.
Okay. The OWN network.
They need some help. They need a little youth in their life over there. You know what I mean? They got to put a little bit of YDS on the channel. And I know Oprah's not with the YDS, but you gotta add a little YDS if you got a network. And YDS means young, dumb, and stupid stuff. So she needs a little young, dumb, and stupid on her TV show in order for it to work. I mean, it is what it is. You can't be a part of what's going on in today's society and not, there's a lot of young, dumb, and stupid going on. So.
All right, Jermaine Dupri, February 23rd, the Fox Theater, one night only, So Deaf 20th anniversary.
Yep, you heard her.
Thank you.
Thank you.